Okay, hey everyone, I am Emily from GoWP. Welcome to today's webinar with Lee Goff on creating a nonstop lead generation system for your agency. Really quick, I'm just going to share my screen and give you guys some quick information about GoWP in case anyone watching is not familiar with us. At GoWP, we are a team that's devoted to helping agencies grow by providing exceptional white label WordPress services. So agencies that partner with GoWP, they're able to focus on the low touch, high value work that helps them grow because they can depend on GoWP to take care of the high touch, low value work that disrupts your day. So that is things like maintenance, website maintenance, plugin updates that break your site, all that kind of stuff, content edits that are coming in from your clients. We have a team to handle those 24/7. And on top of that, we are launching a new service to help agency owners struggling to get their page build outs done on time and within budget. And that service is called GoWP Page Build. So we launched that a few weeks ago and it's going great. I recommend you checking it out if you're looking for help building out your pages using a WordPress page builder. So with page builds, you get a dedicated WordPress developer ready to build your page designs. You're guaranteed minimum of 2 hours dev time a day, daily progress reports, an account manager, ensuring that your specifications are being followed, and our developers and account manager even work in your project management tools, whatever those are. So for more information, you can check that out at GoWP.com and go to page builds. It's on the top menu there. You can check it out. I also want to say a couple quick words about becoming a GoWP partner. So you can create a GoWP partner account absolutely free. You don't have to be a customer. You just create your account and that gets you access to all sorts of resources to grow your agency. Currently, we're always adding things to the resource in the knowledge base there, but currently we have landing page templates that are designed to help you sell care plans. We have a maintenance schedule lead magnet and landing page templates to help you generate leads and increase recurring revenue, and all sorts of documentation that you can take and make your own to use with your clients and prospects. You can create your GoWP partner account at my.gowp.com and then just register an account with us and check that out in the knowledge base. So if you have any questions about partnering with GoWP, how we can help your agency, feel free to email me at emily@gowp.com, or now I'm going to tell you about somewhere else you can find me, and that is in our Facebook group. So for those of you watching here in Zoom who may not be a member yet, we do have the GoWP Niche Agency Owners Facebook group. And this is a community of agency professionals who either already serve a niche market, would like to niche down, or generally if you're just an agency professional. And in there, we are broadcasting this webinar live right now. And you can go check it out. There's the link. You can search Niche Agency Owners on Facebook, and you should find us pretty easily. So that's that. We're approaching 1,000 members, so I'd love if you could go join if you haven't already and help us get there. That would be awesome. We've already done a quick test of the chat in Zoom. If you're watching in Facebook, let me go over there. Yep, looks like it's working over there. We've got Tanya and Kaylin watching. If anyone else is watching over there, feel free to say hey in the Facebook chat because we're watching that too. If you have any questions, throw them up in the chat. I'll be watching. Lee's a pro. He's going to be watching also, but we'll make sure all the questions get to Lee at some point during the hour. So let's get to Lee. Lee founded Marketing Agency Coach and is the author of Agency Success Roadmap. A lot of you probably already know him. After spending 13 years founding, building, scaling, retiring from, and then successfully exiting his digital agency, Lee has mastered a system that delivers results for agencies. So Lee, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be back. So,
fantastic.
All right.
Well, I'll let you take it away from here then.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have a presentation today that is going to be all about generating a ton of leads for your agency. It's actually part of my agency sales system. So I'm going to go through that agency sales system today, and it has an aspect of how you get basically kind of unlimited leads for your agency, and it's so much easier than you might think it is. Now, during the presentation, I'm going to cut the video off because I have found it to be a distraction. So for me and for you, so I'm just going to dive headfirst into this content, super focus on the content, and make sure to deliver it to the absolute best I can. And Beth and everybody's going to be, I'm sorry, Emily, I was just reading Beth over here, and Kaylin, I'm sure, are handling the comments, and we'll get to those right after the presentation, okay? So let's get off into this. Stop my video, share my screen here. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that out there. If you cannot, please type into the chat or the comments wherever you're watching this. Put it into the comments or the chat and let us know. We want to make sure that everyone can hear me and see the screen in front of them. Okay, so as I alluded to, we're going to go through what's called the 4 pillars of a successful agency sales system. And in here, this is going to show you how you can diversify your lead magnets and convert so much more of those leads that are convert a lot of that traffic you're already getting to your site, okay? So today, the 4 pillars of a successful agency sales system. Everyone talks about the ability to have a predictable and reliable lead generation or sales system, right? That just generates unlimited leads, it closes deals, and most importantly, it's not tethered to the agency leadership. Oh, let me put my mic over here so people can't hear me very well. Okay, there, hopefully it's better. So again, everybody who talks about having a sales system or a lead generation system that closes deals and sets them up on a tee, prospect vets them, and it also does not require everything being tethered to the leadership. So today I'm going to cover those 4 pillars, and the first pillar is, oops, let me get over here. The first pillar is lead magnets. Diversify your lead magnets based upon the pain points, and you can double or triple the leads you're getting out of your already existing traffic. Pillar number 2, lead harvesting and a call to action management system. The majority of you are already leaving over 92% of all prospect contact records on the table. You are not engaging with them, you do not nurture them, and you're not going to get any business out of them. Now imagine if you have been harvesting that 92% for the past 2 or 3 years. How many more prospects would you have in your CRM right now? How many more projects would you have coming out of that CRM right now? Those projects equate to revenue and profit. So building that database is absolutely critical, and you do that with lead harvesting and a call to action management system. Pillar number 3, automation and pipeline management. This is so powerful in so many ways, but the superhero of CRM automation and pipeline management is to ensure that you never let another valuable lead fall through the cracks. In industry terms, we call this follow-up failure, and every successful agency I have ever known understood the importance of nurturing every single lead, no matter how big or small. Pillar number 4, real-time KPI dashboard. Real-time KPIs were simply not possible at all for small businesses until about 3-4 years ago. Until then, it took a team of people, literally entire departments of people, to harvest what now can be 100% automated. These 4 pillars are similar to the 4 pillars of brand creation. I'm sure a lot of you out there are familiar with that. Pillars are the huge beams that hold everything up, and that is exactly what we mean here. Each pillar holds up a critical aspect of the sales system, and if one of the pillars fails, all of the pillars will fail along with it. Each pillar is responsible for holding up their end of the weight. Each pillar will have different things relying on its strengths to hold them up as they provide shelter and security under its strengths. I put this in here because, as with all successful businesses, it's all about the entire system. If you're out there and you're attempting to pull one piece from one Facebook group and combine that with another piece you heard from someone else, it's normally not going to work. In other words, if you try to piecemeal this together, I can almost guarantee you that you will be disappointed with the outcome. All systems are only as strong as its weakest link. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're out there and thinking about putting together this type of system for your business. Before I dive into my agency sales system, the 4 pillars of my agency sales system, and kind of show you how effective and how simple it is to use, I want to give everyone a quick definition of what a closed loop sales system is and why all investors, angel investors or whatever type of venture capitalists, whatever it is, all investors consider this to be a must-have system before they'll even entertain buying your business. We all understand that marketing and advertising will generate the initial interest, right? It's going to generate awareness, interest, and leads. And then, of course, at that point, when you get that lead, you hand it over to sales, and sales will establish that rapport, that personal relationship, and move forward towards negotiating the actual contract, okay? Whether they won or lost or whatever it is, that is a personal relationship. The problem happens when we attempt to centralize the data between marketing and sales. Historically, there's always been a gap between the two departments. So if marketing drove a ton of leads and spent $10,000 to get those leads, but when the leads were handed off to sales, not a single one of them purchased, do you think this would be valuable information to have? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science to think marketing would want to run that again. Okay. I mean, why wouldn't marketing run that campaign again? They think they literally just hit the jackpot. But without a closed the loop system, meaning you can associate all revenue back to the lead sources, then you would never know this. You would never know that out of those tons of leads you just got, not one of them produced any profit or revenue. You would end up wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost profit and opportunities simply because you could not close the loop between marketing and sales. You could not bridge that gap. There is a wire cut. You're not getting the data you need. So we know why a close the loop marketing and sales system is important. Why doesn't everyone have one? I mean, it's going to show you where your profit comes from without any guesswork. It's going to guarantee to eliminate follow-up failure. And it's also going to vet the tire kickers from the serious buyers. So why don't all small businesses have this type of closed loop sales and marketing management system in place? There are two primary reasons small businesses and agencies do not have a system like this one that I'm going to show you here today. Do me a favor, in the chat or the QA module, everyone type in what you think those two reasons are, please. All right, so. Okay, and time and tools. Yep, pretty much. That pretty much nailed right there. Thank you very much, Dave. And so yes, the two things are price tag. First one's going to be price tag. Okay. In the past, the only way to get the kind of data we can get in real time now would take an entire staff, weeks to track down the data. They'd create the spreadsheets and then present it to leadership. Literally, and I'm not kidding, literally, entire departments of very smart people did nothing but this all day, every day for their organization. Obviously, that's not something a small business or a smaller agency can afford. It's just simply not, it's not logical, can't be done. And the second reason is going to be technology. As you can tell from my comments on the previous slide, that this was primarily a manual process until a few years ago. With the rollout of cloud-based CRMs about 15 years ago, and now that they have advanced far enough that small businesses and agencies can legitimately set up, manage and profit from the same powerful tools, powerful marketing systems that until a few years ago were only reserved for big businesses, not small businesses. So the technology has finally gotten to the point that everyone can and should have the power of a true close-the-loop sales and marketing system. Now that this option is available to small businesses, meaning it's affordable, easy to set up, and easy to manage by utilizing cloud-based technologies, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into those four pillars. Pillar number one, lead magnets. There are two things I want to share with you today about lead magnets. And for the record, I had to distill down the content on this presentation. I literally could have put together a 5-hour presentation on this, or actually I have an 8-hour workshop that I do on this pretty regularly. And so I had to kind of cut a lot out, but I tried to pick the most important things for you. So let me show you the two things that I feel like everyone should know before they leave this webinar today about creating lead magnets. First and foremost, bring the pain. Remind your prospects of why they are on your website in the first place. And if you focus your lead magnets around pain points that your target audience is experiencing at the time they are interfacing with your digital assets. Let me say that one more time. Your lead magnets around the pain points that your target audience is experiencing at the time they are interfacing with your digital assets. You will convert substantially more of the already existing traffic you're currently paying for. The biggest mistake people make is they make their lead magnets around features and benefits. Do not make this mistake. We have a very simple formula that we use in our in that workshop I mentioned a while ago. We have a lead magnet worksheet that we work through on the first day. And when I'm working with my students in rolling out the agency sales system for them in that workshop, in this workshop, we'll work with you on the 4 pillars. While we're working on the lead magnets, we use this formula to define your lead magnet taglines. And it's very, very simple. Bring the pain. Why did they seek out your website in the first place? Remember, they don't just arbitrarily accidentally end up on your website. There was a specific reason, a pain point that drove them to your website. Make sure to remind them of what that pain point is. Be very precise. Do not give open-ended or ambiguous type ideas. Be extremely precise. 5 simple SEO tips to solve your pain today. And today, time bound. Can it be done in a short period of time? These are the 3 things that they're looking for. They're looking for something, a Band-Aid to put over their pain. It needs to be simple and precise. And they need to be able to get it done pretty quickly because nobody likes to be in pain for a long time. If you focus on that unbelievably simple formula right there, you'll be surprised at how many more leads you can harvest simply by bringing the pain. The second thing I want to kind of share with you about lead magnet creations is you need to be able to do it very quickly. Regardless of how good you are, the reality is that the market will dictate what your lead magnets will end up being. So do not get caught up in trying to make your lead magnets perfect or even close to perfect at first. It's so much more important to create a lot of lead magnets, test them out, let the market determine the winner, and then repeat the process until you have 5 to 7 highly converting lead magnets deployed throughout all content on your website, blog, and social channels and everywhere else. We literally have dozens of really killer tools that we use all the time around my offices here and with my first agency that we use to make lead magnets super fast. They look amazing and they're unbelievably engaging. Again, part of the workshop that we go through. Just don't have time right now to show you all those. So, pillar number 2 is lead harvesting and call to action management system. I have absolutely fallen in love with my call to action management system. If you know what a call to action management system is, throw a comment in chat or questions or comments like that. I'd be interested to see how many of you actually know what that is. This is kind of a relatively newer thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, some less advanced type call to action management systems have been out there, but now they have really nailed this. I personally use Thrive Leads, and it's a total game changer. I create templates. I can deploy them in 15 seconds or less to precise pages, post, or pieces of content on a page or a post in a matter of seconds, literally like 10, 15 seconds. Deploy lead magnet here, this paragraph. Check this out. All marketers understand, all marketers understand the value of testing. This is absolutely true in this case. You must hyper-focus your lead magnets to the precise piece of content. Notice I keep saying content, not just page or post. Notice I keep saying content. I'm going to show you why I'm saying that here in just a second. Piece of content you think will increase conversions, and you must also split test what lead magnet tagline converts the best in that specific spot. So let me give you a couple of quick examples of how powerful this is. Now, most of you are familiar with this. This is a pretty common option in WordPress. You can select the page or post you want to deliver your lead magnet content onto. This is also true in Thrive Leads. It's, again, very common functionality. But when you combine it with the ability to do over 10 different types of lead magnets on the fly, and you can determine to the specific paragraph to display your call to action, It's a total game changer as it pertains to delivering your lead magnets to the right person at the right time. The granularity in these types of systems are amazing. And if you're an OG like me, you know that trying to set up split tests, and whether it be Google experiments or whatever it is, they're a pain in the ass. So, and of course you have to split test, everything, and you need it at your fingertips. In this call to action management system, you can literally click a mouse and you're running a split test. No more setting up UTM parameters, no more experiments in Google's, no more third-party apps, no more pain in the ass design. It's literally a grand total of 30 seconds to set up a split test on all lead magnets and call to actions with an agile CTA management system like the one that we use in our agency sales system and the one that we coach you on to use in our workshop. So now that you're going to be harvesting more leads, and I promise you, guaranteed, you will be harvesting more leads if you can deploy the content accurately to the right spots, you test it, and you get those taglines really dialed in with our simple formula and worksheet. So now that you're harvesting a lot more leads, you have to have a way to vet out tire kickers from serious buyers. Small business owners do not have time to chase tire kickers. They need to only spend their time with serious buyers. We have a simple but extremely effective way of ensuring you only spend your time with hot buyers. We call it our thank you vetting form. It is very simple. We bounce them to a quiz type format, and you see that on the left side here with the green bar. That's 33% complete, and we run them through the whole process. And then we ask some simple vetting questions, and then at the very end of it, we'll ask them for their phone number. That's the blue bar over in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If they provide the phone number, we know they are hot, and we automatically create a deal in your pipeline. We'll notify you, and we're going to kick off an automated email to provide instant value and to ensure that we have eliminated follow-up failure, okay? So a lot of people are saying, well, why don't you just ask for the phone up front? Well, if you do that, you're crossing too large of a trust gap. And so you get the name and email, then you ask them some vetting questions. If they take the time to answer the vetting questions, then they will give you the phone number. But if you ask for the phone number up front, the odds are your conversions are going to go through the basement because you asked for the phone number too soon. Pillar number 3, automation and pipeline management. Again, automation is the superhero of this whole system, and it will guaranteed eliminate all follow-up failure. But we all know that larger projects require the personal touch. This is one of the reasons my system is also so effective. It recognizes when someone is hot and ensures you are notified on when to begin the rapport or the relationship building phase of the sales cycle. With our object-oriented automated sequences, we actually have 8 of them that go into your CRM. You will eliminate follow-up failure and provide overwhelming value every single time. We set the lead source KPI data. You can see that in the very top left of your screen. Then we email them 3 or more times, depending on what you're comfortable with, in an attempt to get them to schedule a meeting with you. It is all about getting them on the phone with you, hot prospects. Once they do cross the threshold of being a hot lead, then we create the opportunity, and that's the one in the lower right-hand corner there, and notify everyone that needs to be notified. All of this is done via automation, 100%. You do not have to spend 1 second on any of this until they have proven to you, based upon their actions, that they are indeed a hot lead and a serious buyer. Pillar number 4, real-time KPIs and pipeline management. Let me show you the power of a real-time KPI dashboard. I was putting this presentation together, and I was thinking, what am I going to say about, what am I going to say about a real-time KPI dashboard and pipeline management? And then I realized I really don't have to say a whole lot because this dashboard says it all for me. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In the next few slides, I'm going to show you, I think it's 5 out of the over 151 reports that you can use with my system. First one is your opportunity pipeline. That's what you see here on the screen. This graph, this funnel graph right here is on your KPI dashboard, and you can literally just click on any of the colors right there. the yellow, purple, or blue colors right there, and you can manage all contact records and opportunity records directly from your real-time KPI dashboard, saving you a ton of time and, most importantly, keeping everything at your fingertips. Second is going to be leads per day. So every single day, I want to know what my lead flow looks like. Have I, how many, if we got a big campaign going, I want to see that number spike. If we're kind of pulling back, a flat line is not a bad thing at that moment in time. But I want to know every single day where my leads are coming from, how many I got, and how many are hot. The third one is what we call lead source tracking. Okay. And this one is actually for Google Maps. And this was a campaign we did a few years back. And as you can see, it's generated, I don't know, 25,000, almost, I guess, close to $30,000 in revenue in sales. And I keep track down to the specific lead source. And one of the great things about our system is the fact that it does this automatically. So as long as you apply the right tag, then the system takes care of everything for you. This one is going to be your gross revenue numbers. And this actually is out of my KPI dashboard here. And so I like to know where my gross revenues are on a daily, actually in this particular case, I got it set up for weekly. But if you wanted to get it down to daily, you could easily do that. You can set it up for monthly as well. All of this is 100% configurable and customizable by you, the agency owner. Number 5 is what I call the top performing lead sources. You see, we set it up so you don't have to worry about the lead source tracking, as I was alluding to a while ago. So as long as you apply the right tag, the system will automatically set all of these reports, set up all of these reports and over 140 other reports at your fingertips. Here's a snapshot of my real-time KPI dashboard. I literally took this out of my dashboard here just a few minutes ago. And this is a snapshot of my dashboard. And as you can see, when you combine all of this data into one real-time dashboard, the insights it provides for your agency is an absolute game changer. And I mean game changer for all agency owners who implement and use this type of system. Okay. So, and Emily, I have to admit, this is, I did a 30 to 40 minute presentation because I figured there'd typically a lot of questions on this topic. So what I would like to do is I'd like to wrap up here. I got a few minutes I wanted to put on the wrap up slide here, and then I want to open it up for questions. Okay. In closing, I'd like to thank Brad and Emily again. You guys are some of my best partners out there. I absolutely love working with world-class people. It's been an absolute pleasure, working with y'all. And I just think that everybody that comes in contact with your brand is a lucky individual. So I would also like to welcome anyone who is interested in having a system like this to reach out to me. I alluded to a while ago, I'm holding a workshop for everyone who wants a system like this. It's actually a 4-day workshop. Over those 4 days, we will build out your very own agency sales system. Each workshop will have 3 agencies that are in similar stages of growth. We will work for 2 hours a day every morning for 4 days. Each day, we will work on one of the pillars. I personally work with each agency in that group as we get the right pieces of the puzzle in place. Now, after the workshop, you will be given your homework assignments to be completed each day. The next morning, we'll spend 30 minutes the following morning holding everyone accountable. Then we dive into the next pillar and we keep going for 4 days until we have your very own agency sales system built out and ready to go. Now, the reality is I have not had the time to build out all of this stuff. It's kind of a newer deal there. So if this is something you are interested in, type in the comments and chat. Just type in the word workshop, and I will make sure and comb through there and find out who it is and reach out to you in the next day or two to get you all set up to attend. This will actually be the first workshop like that. I've done some in the past, a little bit different, but first workshop like this, which will be, this workshop will be the second week of September. The cost is $300 per agency, and you can have up to 2 people in the workshop. If you bring a second person, there will be an additional charge of $150. So it'll be $450 total if you bring 2 people, or $300 if you bring 1. I hope I get to work with a few of you, and let's open this up for questions now. And let me turn my video back on. There is Emily.
Hello.
Is my video? Let's see here.
Yep, we see you. Yep.
All right, cool deal. Let's see, I had a mic all over here and everything. So let me get this over here. So, okay. So, surely there's got to be questions. There's
We've
always
had a
questions.
couple,
Yeah.
well, we have quite a few people already saying workshop, so we'll make sure to get the contact for that.
Okay, cool. That'll work.
Interested in the workshop. That's great. Thank you so much, Lee. That was awesome. It was so informative. If you haven't had a chance yet also to check out Lee's guest blog that he did for us, it also helps kind of back up everything he was saying here too. So you can check that out. It was sent in the newsletter that most of you probably registered from. And if you're in the Facebook group, we have a link to it there too, or just go check out the GoWP blog.
I'll tell you here, let me, I got a link to an article I did over here. Hold on a second here. That if it's okay with you, Emily, I can drop in there to give them a little bit more information.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's okay with you. Okay, there we go. Let me get this over here. Okay, I'm gonna put it in chat in Zoom, and if you don't mind, drop that into the Facebook comments as well, please. So, all right, and I had a great question. By the way, Cynthia, I know you're a pro out there by the question you asked. Awesome question, and it actually took me a while to figure this one out. But yes, Thrive Leads will work if you're using another builder. So we've now built it on top of, let me think about this. I'm gonna make a liar out of me. Elementor, I think Divi, and Beaver Builder. Thrive Leads will actually sit right on top of it. So we can literally just go in and build out the whole, because see, we got all the templates. We'll just plop them in there for you, and we just set them right on top of your already existing Elementor site. So it works wonderful. There's no hiccups at all. So.
We did have a couple questions coming over on Facebook too. So what is your favorite lead magnet tool, Lee? I know you did mention at the beginning that when you were in your agency days, there were quite a few tools you all were using.
Let's see. My favorite lead magnet tool is the one that converts. You know, I'm a market guy. The market dictates the outcome in my world on about everything. But my favorite lead magnet is, let me ask a qualifying question on that. Is that like the actual design of it, like the creation of the actual lead magnet, or is it the delivering of the lead magnet to the audience? Did they?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'll answer both.
Let's answer both of them.
Yeah, I'll answer both of them. Okay, so there's a service out there called Visme, V-I-S-M-E. Canva. There are about 3 billion online cloud-based design tools now that have phenomenal, I mean, these are really killer templates, right? So you go in there, and what we do is we have a worksheet that we go through, and we'll do the taglines, sub-taglines, the body, the pain points, and all that fun stuff. Once we get that done in the work, once we get that all done, okay, we will then at that point take that and go put it into one of these Visme or Canva, we use Visme or Canva, right? Again, there's 3 billion of them out there. So we kind of plop them into that templates, and they look phenomenal, but they only take like an hour or two to do. I mean, you can just bam, throw them out there really quick, and that's the key. Make sure you're throwing them out quick, test them out, put them out there, drive some traffic to it, see if it works. You don't need to wait 3 years to know if a damn lead magnet works. No, I promise you, you drive 1,000 people to that page and nobody opts in, kill it. It's dead. Okay, it's over. I'm just telling you right now, it's over. Emily, you'll know really quick if they are resonating with this lead magnet. And then there's a lot of other ones. I tell you what, I love Typeform. Okay, quizzes, surveys, all of that fun stuff is just off the hook. So good now. I mean, but I gotta say right now, my favorite lead magnet, and this is going to sound so weird, but is my Facebook group. And Emily, I think you would agree with that right now. And for the record, I helped Emily and Brad. They had some questions. When did we? I don't know. Was that a year ago?
It's true. Right before we got the Niche Agency Owners Facebook group started, Lee was my Facebook group coach. Yeah. He has a great group going on. And we'll link to it over here also.
Okay, cool. And I mean, that thing's been growing. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch it grow. But there's something magical about using Facebook as a lead magnet. And again, I told Emily this whenever we did it. That third question, what's that third question in your intake form, Emily? Email address. Exactly. And there you can have in my intake form on Facebook. It's for my Agency Success Toolkit, and it is available on my website, and it converts at 3.86%. I know that because I looked at it literally an hour ago, okay, or 2 hours ago. 3.86% on my website. Now, on the Facebook group, how many people, Emily, typically will give you the email address for the same damn lead magnet, but how many people will give you their email address when they're coming into a Facebook group? Well,
almost everybody.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. The low of 50-60% is guaranteed, and it goes up from there. It's amazing. It really is amazing. That's probably been my most effective lead magnet in the past, period of time, and it works great. But again, very simple to deploy. You've probably already got one going, right? So just throw it out in the lead magnet, throw up a little graphic into the call to action management system, boom, 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 throw it out there, ready to go.
And I do know a couple of the agency owners in our Facebook group community have gone and started their own Facebook groups now as well to target their niche and get that going. So that is a really great way to provide value, get to know your audience better, and produce leads and generate leads.
Well, again, it's all about multi-touch right now. And whenever you can send one lead magnet and get them in 2 platforms, you know, what do you say to that right there? You know, drop the mic, right? So anyways, I love, and by the way, I'm not just some weird guy with Legos in my office. That's actually part of my coaching program, but I love keeping it real in the coaching program. It gets pretty fun, and sometimes enough coaching in our one-on-one coaching sessions. But yeah, no, so now you set the Facebook pixel, you've got a direct feed directly to their phone from Facebook groups, and you've got their email address in your contact record. So you can now you can retarget them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Google's coming out with that pretty soon. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, anytime you can send them to a lead magnet that converts 50% plus and gets you in 3-4 different platforms, that's the best damn lead magnet I've ever heard of. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, Beth had a good question, and Lee, you probably have a different answer for this than I do, but how do you save the email addresses? So Beth is, I believe this is the Beth I know. She has her own Facebook group as well. And how do you save their email address when they answer the group entry questions? Speaking from my experience, I do it manually because there are scrapers and that kind of thing you can use, but I just do it manually.
Exactly. No, there are some tools. There are some tools out there. A tool will pop up, Facebook will smack it down. And so because that's just the way, you know, it's just, the whole point of the group is privacy and all that fun stuff, right? So Facebook is hardcore about that. And I kind of appreciate that. It keeps the integrity up. So I attempted to use a little automation tool one time, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, breaks, not rely, just don't do it. It's just not, it just doesn't, it's not to the part, it's not evolved enough yet to where you can rely on it, right? I don't put systems in places unless I can, you know, set it and forget it. Now, if I have to set it and then come back and check on the damn thing every 2 days, that's not the kind of system I want, right? So right now, as with Emily, we manually take that, one of my staff members, her name Laura, takes that and she will go put it into our Infusionsoft. She'll apply one tag and then all the automation picks up and just goes straight through there. So yes, of course, you definitely tell them. In mine, it says, I have a great free tool. It's our Agency Success Toolkit. It includes these 3 or I think 4 things. Would you like us to send that and send you more information? You know, so in other words, yes, you definitely tell them that it's an opt-in. So.
For speaking from my experience, for our Facebook group, I don't say it's an opt-in, but we don't actually subscribe anybody to anything when they give us, for our group, when they give us the email address. We keep it because that way I'm able to reach out to people, and I've used it in the past to schedule calls and that sort of thing. But people answer most of the time. If they don't, I still let them in the group. So it is optional there. So yeah, I don't say anything like that because I'm not actually opting. Or I'm not
it's
anyone to anyone.
Yeah, mine's optional. You don't have to fill it out to be in the group at all. No. It's 100% optional. But I tell them, if you give me your email address, I'm going. Yeah, you're definitely about to get blown up. Not blown up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm upfront about it, but it's not required. You don't have to give the email address.
Absolutely. Yep. Let me see. There was a question up here from Alex. If I don't produce content, that system won't be useful, correct?
Well, as far as like having a content production machine, producing content is a little bit too open-ended for me to answer that question. Meaning you can create one white paper, right, and that can be a lead magnet. Now, as far as producing 30 pieces of organic content a day, you know, that's we're talking about 2 different things. So when you say you don't create content, we actually have a done for you version of this to where we do it for you. We create those lead magnets physically for you. And again, the way the process works is we have a lead magnet worksheet. And so we'll just go through and I'm working through it with everybody and, okay, do this, like that. And by the time you're done, a lot of people get intimidated by the content creation process. I don't think you need to be, don't get intimidated by the content creation process. It can be difficult. And to the degree that I've taken it, I got a machine now and it's definitely difficult to get that part in place. But I would advise most agencies to go to that level. I do that now because I'm in the educational space, right? So I need to have that kind of content out there all the time. But if you just go out and get 5 or 6 pieces of content, Yeah, I'm telling you right now, you can spend one day and have 7 lead magnets done that you can test for the next 30 to 60 days, and then take the losers out, put a couple more in there, and you're rocking and rolling. So again, I would love to have a conversation with you about that. I'm not quite sure what your definition of creating content is, but we have definitely made it as simple as we possibly can to get that out there effectively and quickly. So.
Wonderful. Let's see. Kaylin in the Facebook group, she asked, how do you track your leads to conversion from Facebook group? So how are you tracking that when it is that manual process?
The manual process is that my staff applies a tag, then it goes into a campaign or a sequence, okay? And in that sequence, it applies lead source, it kicks off the email, and it does a couple other, I'm not quite sure what all it does. But the way our system works is all you have to remember is just apply the right tag. Just apply the right damn tag, and then from there, it'll go bloop, 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 and it's like a daisy chain. Applies lead source, delivers lead magnet. Thank you for being in the Facebook group. It waits, I think, 3 days, and then applies like what's called a prospect identifier. The reason we wait 3 days is because that prospect identifier is the one we mail to regularly, okay? And we don't want to interrupt the actual initial relationship building. And so we wait like 3 days to apply that tag, and then they get into the normal rotation of just the content we syndicate out. So I hope that answered the question. If it didn't follow up, and I'll do the best I can. So.
No, I think that makes sense. There is that manual aspect to it, but yeah, there's no way around that when it comes to the Facebook group.
Not when you can trust it. And again, I tell you what, when you set up a ZAP process and that ZAP process works, you don't know about it for 3 days, I'm telling you, this is no fun. You know what I'm saying? It's just no fun. Because now you got data scattered all over God's green earth, and it's just a major pain in the butt to get it, right? And I'm sure you can relate to that, Emily. When those kind of little bitty middleware systems break, man, it breaks everything. So they just have not gotten the tools to the point where we can trust it to get that information in there yet. So.
Yep, absolutely. It's just part of my daily routine at this point.
Exactly,
so.
Exactly. Yeah, and Laura on mine every single day, she wakes up and she'll say, okay, 210, whatever the hell it is, right? And she'll go in there and approve it. And first thing she does is looks for all Bitcoin. Yeah.
You have to watch out. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few of them that kind of slide in there, right? So we're looking for Bitcoin. We're looking for a few buzzwords. And if those are anywhere on your profile at all, you are not getting into the group. That's for sure. And then, of course, the notorious, they're in there for 30 seconds. And what do, Emily? Drop the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Oh, free money. Click here. Here we go. Right. And so
they're very quick. Yeah. Because they know they're getting booted as soon as.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They got it all. Bam. Just like that. But they are out instantly. I went and looked the other day. I think I had I bet it's 100 plus, 150 people have been blocked because of all that. We try to keep it clean. It's hard. There's a lot of people in there, but we try to keep it good. So
yeah, it's a great group. I love it.
Yeah.
There's something it just went right through my brain. I don't know. Okay, sorry. I think that's all the questions, though. Oh, that's what it was. I was going to say that the manual aspect of it is nice, though, because for our group, we do ask, what's your biggest struggle and that kind of thing. So having a finger on that pulse daily, it's nice to keep being reminded of that and getting to know people a little bit better. So it is a nice part of having to do it manually instead of just having it all automated too.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I do like, I don't remember, is it Beth? Who was it, Beth? Who was that? Is that question, Beth? I think, Beth, I think I think automation systems, okay, first to solve all problems, right? And only when I cannot solve it with automation or systems, which automation is a system typically, right? Then I'll throw labor at it. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. Kudos on that. I would take that exact same path, but Emily and I have already tried it, and it's not. And if you do find one, please let us know. We're all about it. So.
All right. Well, let's see.
Yeah, always got to do it. Yeah, always. I'm telling you, always. And I know it's a pain in the ass. Nobody's even arguing. I know, we know it. And this doesn't just apply just to the Facebook group, but to other stuff as well. And it does slow you down. But one of the most valuable sayings I ever heard in business was this: by slowing down in business, you actually speed up.
Makes sense.
It's so true. It's so true.
That's kind of how it's our process at GoWP too, is we pretty much do everything manually first, figure out how it works, what we need from it, and then we'll go and look for the automated solution and figure out. Yeah,
and I try to break the hell out of it too, by the way. During that manual process, because in automation, it's, you've already kind of, you should have already got the kinks out, okay? So in other words, you don't want to test the kinks out in automation, just a little piece of advice, okay? And just for the record, okay, I built one of, if not the world's largest Infusionsoft automation agencies on the planet. That's what I sold. So when I'm talking about this stuff, this comes from implementing over 3,000 automated systems over, you know, the last, whatever the hell, forever, 15 years or so. So this comes from a place of a lot of experience. And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't over automate, always do it manually first, and keep it simple, stupid. No matter how smart you are, you will regret it if you don't do those 3 things. So I'm just telling you right now. So right, Emily, you're like, look at, she's shaking her head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Beth, what is it that you liked about Infusionsoft over others?
It's a value, a price value functionality for me. So when you look at the big picture of small business automation, the kind of capabilities that they offer, just ActiveCampaign starting to catch up. SharpSpring's doing a really badass job. HubSpot definitely, I wouldn't say they're not as far along, but they've got some very good automation in there. Problem is, that's expensive. I mean, it's $2,000 for HubSpot with automation. SharpSpring is, I want to say it's $500 or $600. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's about $500 or $600 for the level of automation that I'm talking about. So for $250, $300, you know, you can get the level of automation that can lower your entire workload by 20%. So it's just a no-brainer, right? Is the user interface as pretty as some of the other ones? No. Is it a little bit confusing? Have you ever had a good system that's not confusing? What do you think about Microsoft? Confusing as piss, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, are you kidding me? Like, and it changes all the damn time, right? So, and I'm self-confessed. Google Drive. I lose stuff in Google Drive all the dadgum time. Gmail, I can't find emails like I could in Outlook. Frustrating, but it's a better tool. It is a better tool, right? And so there's always things that, you know, that are a pain in the ass. But as long as you take your time and you put the work in, getting it done, set up properly at first, it's a real game changer. I'm telling you right now, I instantly think, how can I automate this? If I can't automate it, how can I put in a simple system to get it done? And then only if those 2 will not work, then I'll go throw labor at it. But that's my last resort. So.
Yeah. Beth says she's small and still using MailChimp and Zapier, and that's that's normal. And I think, Beth, at a point you'll know when it's time to move on to something more robust, and you'll do it.
And again, if you are, please reach out to me. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to automated CRM and automation like that, you know, I can probably answer about any damn question you can throw at me about the main platforms, you know, the top platforms. So.
Yeah, and Lee, I can vouch for Lee. He's awesome. He shares everything. He's so helpful. So that's we're happy to have him as a member of this community and one of our partners. That's great. I think there was one question I missed. What tags in Google Analytics are a must to track for KPIs? Do you have any insights on that?
Well, I mean, good question. You know, typically the tags in Google Tag Manager are something you create, right? So it's something that you go in and do. So I guess it's going to be very much dependent upon the campaign you're running at the time, right? And so, for example, it's a little bit different in Google Tag Manager because, you know, when it's not really lead source, it's actions. It's different the way that it works. And so I have to admit, I use more Google Tag Manager for more retargeting marketing kind of stuff and what's called prospect identifying, recognizing who they are. But I don't use it a lot for like a KPI dashboard. And I have to admit, I didn't even know it's even really one in there. I kind of go look in that and see now, but I don't think that they get back to doing like true blue, like lead source tracking and profile management and things like that because, well, Google's not a CRM. It's not what they do. So.
Right. Yep. That's absolutely true. Cool. Okay. I think that's everything. We'll talk for just a couple more seconds here in case anyone on Facebook has any more questions. We'll make up for there's like a 10-second delay there. So Lee, thank you so much for this. This is awesome. If you all are watching this, or maybe you're watching the recording afterward and you have some questions come up, Lee is in the Facebook group, the Niche Agency Owners Facebook group. Reach out to him there. You can reach out to him at, what's your website, Lee? Or what's the best way they can contact you, I guess? Yeah,
marketingagencycoach.com. So very easy. So yeah, can't miss that one.
That in the chat here.
Right. And okay, so Ann and Carol and Kate, there's a few of you in here that typed that workshop. I am going to get your information from Emily. And then I'm going to get everything set up for you to kind of get everything set up for the workshop. And again, it's the second week in September. I'll outline all this in the email that I send to you. Okay. So.
Fantastic. And those of you who said workshop in the Facebook group, I've got you marked down as well. So no worries. Lee will be reaching out to you. So thank you so much, Lee. That's everything. Thank you for this great webinar. And again, if anyone has any questions, reach out to Lee, find him in the Facebook group, and we'll see you at the next webinar. So thanks, Lee. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a safe day out there.
Bye.
Bye.